retards are trying to convince you that like Supergirl is the most empowering female movie ever made, when in reality it's just like lesbian feminist slop. This idiot called the Junk Man goes out and puts, took my 3-year-old niece to see Supergirl. Halfway in, she cried and told her friend, I can't believe they finally made a superhero movie with a girl. Finally, I see myself on the screen. I want to be just like her. I was unable to hold back my tears. This is bullshit. No 3-year-old fucking talks like this. Also, they haven't been alive and sentient enough to notice the quote-unquote discrepancy in strong female leads. It's so cringe. So I responded, obviously, and I put, took my 3-year-old niece to see Supergirl. Halfway in, she cried and told her friend, I can't believe the hegemonic cis heteronormative patriarchy has finally been decolonized enough to grant narrative sovereignty to a female superhero. At long last, I witnessed my full intersectional self, my gendered embodied. If you want to read the rest, you can go to my Twitter, x.com/Tectone. But people are noticing that it's just feminist slop. The movie is doing fucking horrible in the theaters on every metric. Everybody's shitting on it besides gay lesbians. What a surprise.
Supergirl will be a historically awful flop, looking at a 9-figure loss for DC Comics.
Love that.
And regardless of how well
9-figure loss
or horribly received the movie actually is, it was doomed before opening day.
Discussion online about Kara's queerness.
Like, look, bro, this woman looks a little bit goofy now, doesn't she?
In the comics, was that something that you explored when you were preparing for the role?
It wasn't, but in honor of Pride Month, as I'm getting all these questions, I don't know. I think that what makes this film so beautiful is that it's not centered around a man. It's not centered around love at all.
Wow! What is that, bro? What is that? Jesus. Wow! Strong female lead like we haven't had that shit shoved down our throats for years. Just shut up about this shit. It's insufferable. You know what really put me over the fucking edge? When fucking Sylvanas takes off Bolvar's fucking Lich King helmet and rips it in half because, strong girl boss. We've seen this shit 1,000 times. We're going to see it 1,000 times more, and it's lame as shit. Shout outs to Queerly Radio.
If anything, but we'll see. I don't really know, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's great.
Probably go both ways.
Why in the world do we even need to speculate who she would date, especially when the source material already has an answer? It's just more woke nonsense being shoehorned into established lore since a small population online with
it's because they really want this game to or they really want this movie to succeed, so they gotta pander to the mentally ill online to hopefully get the numbers up. That's it.
refuses to support anything they're not overwhelmingly represented in. Not to mention, this isn't the first time woke actors revise source material from a traditional love story into more feminist nonsense.
Here we go.
What makes this film so beautiful is that it's not centered around a man. It's not centered around love at all.
Wow, there's like already thousands of movies that are already like that. Isn't that crazy? Also, what the fuck is wrong with centering movies around love stories? Because it's kind of important that we talk about how great it is when a man loves a woman and a woman loves a man, because I don't know, if we don't, it's going to lead to the death and the extinction of our species. So it's probably a good thing to keep popular, don't you think?
Absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
I mean, we don't make many movies glorifying being unemployed and useless, because that would also lead to the extinction of our species. So that's why we write movies about being successful and wanting to be successful, you know, because that's what everyone should be striving to do.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
As originally, that backlash looked like it was going to also result in a 9-figure loss for Disney. But actually, it was much worse. Looking at a $170 million loss, not even including any marketing costs, that could easily double this loss. As Supergirl is looking at a similar situation, opening at $38 million, the lowest start for a DC title after costing over $180 million.
That feel when I want to have straight sex with my fiance, but I don't want to be called homophobic.
I'm no math Asian, but 38 seems a bit smaller than 180 million, as I wouldn't be surprised if the same situation also resulted in another—
Wow, very smart decoy-san. Very cool, you bring honor to your family. Sugoi! Oh!
another 9-figure loss, which at this point, I refuse to believe they're accidentally doing this.
Yep.
We really should check if these studio heads aren't betting against their own stock price and just cashing in millions off their shorted stocks. As Supergirl's lead immediately clashed against the comic book fans, stating, simply existing as a woman in that space is commented on. They're comfortable with this weird ownership of women's bodies. This is how it's always been for women, but it's from online anonymous accounts, or someone who describes themselves as a dad of 4 or Christian, which is hilarious to her, inferring she doesn't care about their opinion, thinking if you're pissing the right kind of people off, you're doing okay, meaning she doesn't want the approval of Christians, parents, or God forbid, Christian parents, and seems pretty pleased with the idea that they would criticize her. And maybe this would be a winning strategy.
The over-vilification of Christians is so fucking cringe. Like, out of all of like the repulsive, archaic religions that there are in the world, you want to villainize Christianity? Good Lord, I know. Oh, we're teaching people to be good. Oh my God. We're teaching people that if you're good, you're rewarded, and if you're bad, you're punished. Oh my God. Don't teach this to our kids. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
If your movie was debuting in Gaza, but as long as you're—
You know what religions we should praise? Ones that tell you to blow yourself up. Yeah, bro. Oh, that'd be based.
Trying to target American audiences and comic book fans, you're probably not gonna want to alienate any parents that would be paying for said movie tickets. But again, they don't see playing a comic book character as entertainment. It's just another soapbox to parrot their liberal talking points. But after all this, I don't even blame the actresses for being insufferable activists. I blame the adults in charge for their questionable casting choices in American superheroes. This is the equivalency of me starting a Christian rock band and asking Doja Cat to be our lead singer, getting that kids creator that somehow also turned out to be a hyper-left activist to get on guitar, then having Ilhan Omar on bass, and then Ben can be on drums. I said this as a joke, but I would actually listen to the Daily Choir Fire. But the difference is, streaming a Trainwreck song for 20 seconds isn't quite the same as dedicating 4 hours and $100 to see a movie supporting the stars that despise you. As originally, I really enjoyed her portrayal of Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon, where in the beginning, she seemed aware of her intellectual irrelevance.
What's been the most surprising thing is that people care what I have to say.
We really care.
Don't care. There's nothing going on up here.
We love you. No, we have to
thank you.
And I don't see this as her playing blonde bimbo. It's more of having the self-awareness that sudden stardom doesn't automatically make your opinions any more valid or intelligent.
It's very true. I can't tell you how many celebrities and even streamers that I've watched that once they talked about their political beliefs, I was like, okay, this guy's just fucking retarded. And what's crazy is I really don't mind whatever your political beliefs are, as long as you can justify them. And when a streamer has a political belief that they themselves don't know why they believe it, or they don't know how to defend it, or they don't even know why they think it, I'm just like, oh, okay, so you're just fucking retarded. That's what bothers me. I truly don't care what you believe in as long as you can justify it. And that should be pretty fucking easy. Oh, why do you feel this way? Why do you like this thing? Oh, I don't know. That's what everybody was saying. Okay, so you're just retarded.
If anything, being an entertainer means you should be doing everything you can to leave your values in secrecy, as you want to entertain everybody, not only the audience that shares all your political, religious, and orientations. Where Tom Cruise should be the most controversial and divisive star, but since he doesn't jam Scientology into his movies, he still makes millions. But no, not even Game of Thrones is safe.
Do you think Rhaenyra and Alicent were the original heated rivalry?
Ooh, that is a take. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Emily always talked about it. We were like, something is going on.
No, like,
something is going on.
There's sapphic.
They're lesbian.
The Red Keep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's sapphic smells in here.
Yeah.
So cringe. Jesus Christ.
As this is an allusion to a hockey show featuring two rival dudes that want to do each other, but now it needs to be shoehorned into everything, as even aside from her speculation on a talk show in the next season of Game of Thrones that she isn't in, Hollywood again shoehorned in a lesbian scene because reasons, completely forgetting the context of the Asian girl.
Everybody's gay, let's go! This is so good for our species.
Girl's character, trauma dumping how she gets used by powerful men, her horrible experience as a S-worker, and all of her regrets. The queen hears this and immediately makes a move on her, again repeating the cycle of people in power, briefly using her and moving on. It's supposed to be a romantic moment, but it's a short-sighted swipe at wokeness. But not worse than how this prequel show had King's Landing looking incredibly diverse, with equal representation of the globe, forgetting how the original Game of Thrones portrayed it, white, like the UK, which it's based off of, which infers, canonically, between the fall of the kingdom and the rebuilding before Game of Thrones, there was an ethnic cleansing. But worse, the literal second foreign forces of diversity returned to King's Landing, it was immediately burned to the ground again. And I don't think Game of Thrones is secretly pushing MAGA-based border policies. I just think they're short-sighted woke idiots. And I admit, this makes me a bit of a nerd.
Because everybody in the creative arts field is usually just left-wing retards. Because they weren't good enough and disciplined enough to work a real job. So they got told by their parents that, oh my gosh, well, you may not be good at anything, but oh, you sure can sing. Oh, wow, your macaroni art is so good. So they go up with every other retard in the creative arts and they get told that their shit doesn't stink and they perform in thoughts and feelings, so that's all that matters. And their skill base is determined off opinions. And then they realize, oh, well, everybody else says I'm a pretty princess, so I'll have all the pretty princess opinions. And that's how you get ahead. It's literally just brainwash. No 9-to-5 blue-collared worker is thinking, man, I can't wait to see more lesbian shit in the Game of Thrones. No, because they're well-adjusted members of society. Holy fuck.
But this TISM level of noticing is built in with a comic book audience. But when they try to combine celebrity virtue signaling with superheroes...
If you've worked in the creative arts industry, you know everybody in that field is a bunch of woke lesbians. You know that. You want to know why? Because I did the creative arts for 2 years. Bro, people would want to fight you if you said you liked Donald Trump. It was insane.
Not only do they alienate their target audience to the tune of $100 million, their brand of woke ideologies will always eventually lose their new woke audience. Even with far-left politicians that live their entire careers in service of these stances, all eventually get canceled themselves.
Ain't that weird? My hood, bro. It's free Palestine here. You already know what it is. We against the genocide. You think you gonna come to my neighborhood, bro? You up. It's gonna be a problem.
Scott, I think your legislation on trans issues and your legislation specifically protecting queers on offender registry is fantastic. I think your policy on the genocide in Gaza is terrible. I think you do not belong here. You do not belong here. You do not belong here, Scott, anymore. It's
as Millie can literally say everything to validate her leftist audience, but eventually there's always going to be something we disagree on, and the only thing more impossible than making a profit with woke actors is passing the left's always evolving purity tests. So if you appreciate my concise, light-hearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, and
Decoy Voice is the fucking man. If you don't subscribe to him, your life will literally be worse. Go subscribe now.